change it.
And that's okay with the residents in that area?
We held a public hearing to, and we posted the property in both locations and advertised in the paper.
Didn't get anyone to complain?
No, sir.
We have a motion for the first reading to change,
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
276.
You can ask one more question. Mr. Jones,
We got another question.
what are they gonna feel, what are they gonna do after we dig? Are they gonna put a pond there, or what they gonna do?
Here again, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
I don't know how the residents gonna feel if you got a pond dug in a residential neighborhood.
We may not do that, so we depends on what the,
I'm just thinking.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
We're gonna have another one, we're gonna have to ask a question on that.
It's exactly the same thing.
Same thing?
One of them's in the Floridale area and one's in Little Rock area.
Okay.
It's exactly the same thing.
Okay, we have a motion to change it from residential to rural district.
I make that motion in its first reading.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Carroll, the second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, let the record show that I oppose on that. I didn't vote. The record show that I would oppose it. I don't know about the neighborhood and about that pond. I just don't know what it is. Thank you, sir.
We're on F, ma'am. First reading, an ordinance by Dillon County Council to amend the official zoning map of Dillon County, rezoning a parcel of land known as tax map number 107-065 from A residential to district RS2 to rural RU district. It requires a motion. We have a motion to do that. It's the same thing, we just changing the map now.
I make a motion.
Okay, Mr. Herald made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll say it.
Okay. Wait a second. All in favor? Raise your right hand. All opposed? Okay. G, first reading. An ordinance of Dillon County, South Carolina, authorizing the execution and delivery of a lease extension agreement by and between the county and Harbor Freight Tools USA Incorporated for certain real property and improvements and other matters relating to the foregoing.
Mr. Chairman, I've been meeting, talking with Harbor Freight Tools. Of course, you know, they're leasing our, what we call the old boat haup building, or boat haup building it used to be. And they come back to us, their lease is up, so they've come back, but they proposed it to us to extend the lease, and they also want to do some improvements, which they'll get back with us on, but Mr. DeBose and I'll be going through that with him, so I'll let him explain exactly how we do that process.
Yeah, you have in your agenda package the existing lease, Mr. Chairman, and it was 2 years, if you recall, and provided that, of course, if they did their expansion, that they basically didn't have to pay any payment, I think $10, but basically it's free. Well, of course, they did their expansion, you know, they did what they said they would do, but now that lease is up, and Harbor Freight just replied to Mr. Young's inquiries yesterday about, well, what do you intend to do after March 31st, and they've indicated that they would like to stay there for 6 months, and they would agree to pay the $14,420 per month lease payment that was provided in the lease that they did not expand. Of course, they did expand. So if council deems it appropriate to read this on first reading, in addition, I have prepared and handed out to council another proposed motion, and let me tell you what that does. This is a short-term arrangement while Harbor Freight determines what they're going to do long range. And they've indicated they're considering a 5-year lease.
With a 5-year option.
With a 5-year option.
After that.
But the 5-year lease, of course, entails them making certain investments in the building to make it more suitable to their needs. I think air quality control is one of them, air conditioned heating. You know, don't have any heating or air conditioning now. That's one thing they're considering doing. Also understand it needs some other work as any building does as it goes along. would propose that the council read this, or they also pass this motion, which is in your package, which basically says also, in addition to reading this first time, an additional matter, enter into a holdover agreement with Harbor Freight Tools USA to hold over for a 6-month term pursuant to the lease agreement, according to the term to pay rent in the amount of $14,420. What that would say would be that you would just sign an agreement with them that they could hold over. The agreement's over, March 31 it ends. That you would agree that they could hold over, they could stay there. If they abided by the terms of that lease, allocate who's going to do what, insurance, all that kind of stuff. And that in addition to that, they would pay $14,420 per month rent to Dillon County for the building. And then during that 6-month period, we can go ahead and read this ordinance 3 times. Of course, I'll take two more meetings. And have a public hearing, and hopefully by that time, Harbor Freight will have made a final decision as to the 5-year extension, which will start after this. And so hopefully,
You got any idea what it's gonna cost the county and you said there's requirements?
Yeah, the conversations I've had with them is that they're going to figure out what they need to do. They're going to make the improvements themselves. So they may ask a reduction in this lease rate here, but they don't know exactly what it is. They're not asking for us at this time to put out any additional funds to us. The only thing we may do is reduce the lease rate to coincide with the improvements they make.
but they've got to show, Mr. Chairman, member of council, they have to say, number one, what they're going to do.
Right.
And then council would have to determine that the value, what the value is. And then, but that has to be worked out in the future. All this is just a stopgap method to say, okay, you can stay there, we'll just let you stay under the same lease term for 6 months, and you pay us $14,420 per month. In the meantime, we'll figure out what to do.
Right.
That's a pretty good deal, ain't it?
I think it's a good deal, you get $14,420, and hopefully they'll.
Motion on that?
Yeah.
Motion on that?
First, Mr. Coward, if you can make a motion on the first reading, and then also, in addition to that, make this proposed motion.
That's what you said.
Yeah. In addition to that.
Rob, you making the motion to
Yeah, I'll make a motion for
and
the first
also,
reading.
first reading of
And also the addition.
what attorney just read.
Yeah.
I make a motion for the first reading.